Right, we're live. It's been a while, guys. I think it's been. When's the last stream? The last stream was May. Jeez, inconsistent. Right, let me just double check. I think we're live. Um, should be live. Okay, so update from May, I guess. I have been trading frequently, I just haven't been on stream. We're still trading the 10k on stream. But I had a EA on my main FTMO, so we're still trading the 10k FTMO, and we are currently, let's see where the account's at. We're sat at 110, 113.45. So we're at 113, $45 in profit. There he goes on the two-step FTMO. And yeah, that's currently where we're at. I haven't really been trading that account actually too much, but we're back. We're back on the charts. I'm not going to play too much music because of copyright issues. I think that was ruining the streams for YouTube. Let me just see. So I think that's the New York Open now. Let me. Yeah, stream health looks good. Subscribe. Let's see. Alright, I think we're live, right? I tried to mess around with the bitrate, so I'm kind of hoping that is fine. Alright, chat, so I've been sample sizing over the past few months, and everything kind of just dates back to what I've been saying in these streams anyway. With, in trading, you can't be perfect. You need to look at structure for what it is. Okay, so like, I had a updated version where I would call that resistance, call this level support because of these levels. I would also look at the higher time frame and say that this is still respecting that range, right? Because it comes back down, and it's very true. But I've been sample sizing, just kind of going back to almost like my old strategy. The only issue with my older strategy, which is like 2025, is, and I called them strategies, but they're all kind of just slight derivatives of the same strategy. So it's still support resistance. It's still using logical zones for where price doesn't respect as your stop loss, and using logical zones for when price returns back to entry or further for take profit. I'm just altering it slightly, and yeah, I've been sample sizing for a few months now, and I'm just kind of I find that I'm going back to just how simple trading can be, right? The simple range is what you can see, your rejection areas like here, right? Which instead of using every single wick, because you can't be perfect in the markets, it's an unpredictable market. So instead of using every single wick, I'm using wick areas instead, right? Which goes back to almost like my second year of trading, I think, where I found a lot I found a lot of good in doing that. It's just I got caught up in, when you get into second year of trading, you start looking into little intricacies, how you can better yourself. And I wasn't good at taking losses in my second year. Whereas this year, I've seen quite a vast improvement as I've been increasing my stop losses to up here, which still works, okay? But I'm just taking a different outlook in the sense that, okay, let's say these are my ranges, okay? Which it would have been anyway. Oh, so instead of, using, because this broke into it, using this as my low and that as my high, like I used to a couple months ago, um, because obviously the logic behind that is on a higher time frame, it still respects the range, right? If you go on a high enough time frame, it's just one big wick that still respects the range. Instead of doing that, I'm kind of looking at the idea, okay? Because I'm not painting my ranges on the daily time frame. If I was, I'd be looking at the daily and then going lower for entries and using that daily, like I was. But instead, I'd rather be in and out quicker, because although that's more of a swing trading sort of way to tackle the markets. But for me, I think I am a bit more day tradey, especially given my current lifestyle right now. I've got a lot of time. Um, so yeah, I want to be in and out the markets. I'm still risking the same, so I'm still risking what was it, 50, half a percent of the total account, or 10% of the daily drawdown limit on a funded account or challenge account, whatever you want to call it, prop firm. So I'm still risking 50 a trade, but I'm more refined on the idea, and the idea being risk management, okay? Because that's all we are at the end of the day as traders. You don't predict where price is going to go. You are a risk manager. You're looking at where you're going to enter and execute your POIs, your point of interests, and where that idea invalidates. Yes, you could say it validates here, but this is only one single point. Whereas if I'm using a general area, I've got this to work with. And if it doesn't respect this, what's the chance it's going to respect that? Not very high, unless you are marking up your ranges on the daily time frame. Okay, so basically, and it's funny with trading is you always end up going back on yourself and going back to what works, what resonates with you, what you understand, and what makes you comfortable. Okay, because if you take, let's use my old strategy for example. If I was to take this trade and I lost, I don't know, I lost this trade, I'm gonna start doubting myself, because the probability is that it's gonna hit my take profit, right? But if you lose one trade, it's fine. If you lose 2 or 3, it's okay. But when you start losing 10 in a row with a negative RR, you start like questioning why, sort of thing. And you start tweaking and then looking, and then that's how you start going down to the 1 minute and like trying to find these little areas and stuff. There's no real need for it, in my opinion. So yeah, this is kind of the updated version. I use, for backtesting, I use Traders Cap, not like any sort of promo or ad. I just think it's a really good software and it's worth paying for. I'm not signed into this account, but that's okay. But it's a great backtesting tool. I mean, there's loads of people on Discord and Twitter that talk about how good Traders Casa is. It's honestly an amazing platform. I would recommend if you want to backtest. It's quite cheap as well. You can pay for a monthly subscription, and they give you all sorts of insights. And it's free. You don't need to pay for it, but if you wanted to, you can. The option's there. But yeah. So to the charts. I really want them to connect a thingy in here. That'd be great. You can do paper trading, but what's the point? I don't think they have FTMO on this, do they? Because it's not simulated capital. I almost went with TradeStation once. I use Blueberry currently. Great broker. Think Markets is good as well. I've used Think Markets before. 8cap. I've almost used. I think I was going to go with them. IB is standard classics, like Google of the broker world. What else? Black Bull Markets. Yeah. Yeah, they've got all sorts of brokers here. Bitstamp, yeah. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Let's do the analysis, the breakdown, okay? I mean, I'm quite happy with that range as is, just because of the time frame I look at, but on the, we'll do it chronologically. So on the monthly, we are, okay, interesting. On the monthly, we have entered a range, okay, folks? You know, I trade ranges, I don't trade breakouts. So this is the range that we're in on the monthly. Reason being, you have some rejections here, and you have a better support level here. Whether this is your range or this is your range up here or up here, I'm not too sure. Maybe that's a break-even buys, who knows? But you haven't tapped it, nor have you made a bottom wick on this monthly. So you're going to need to see something like this play out for the range to make sense, if this is going to work. Okay, for the range to make sense. But it doesn't necessarily have to happen, because maybe there is a bottom wick on like the 1 minute. Okay, so we still trade that same way. But we are definitely bullish on this monthly time frame for sure. Oops. Weekly, kind of the same shit, where your area or your range, it might even, you could actually extend it down if you really wanted to, but you still need a bottom wick there. On this, oh sorry, I've got my Magna on. Still need a bottom wick there, and if you wanted to use this level here, again, you still need a bottom wick there. Okay, so we're still missing bottom wicks. Top wick level would be up here, this white line, and this is kind of the range focus that we're looking at. On the weekly time frame, we're just in the middle of it, so we need to see either a bottom wick or a top wick, but we're not quite sure yet. To the daily. So the daily opened up, we've printed bearish so far, but you did end up getting this was quite a high move, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 450 pips, and then flips down to 330, so we're kind of bouncing out, and that's probably due to the fact that there is no news today. 3 p.m. there is like some talks, but nothing really crazy at the moment. Let me clear all currencies, USD, apply filters. Yeah, so there's that at 3 o'clock. I'm kind of tempted to just say there's no news, to be honest. You've got PPI tomorrow, okay. Nothing on Thursday. Friday, you just got some talks. Okay, so it's kind of like no news week. I mean, tomorrow there's going to be some news. Actually, I'm going to try and stream tomorrow, if I can. But yeah, what day is it today? 25th. Yeah, there's barely any news. I'll leave the orange folder on, so that's there anyway. But 3 p.m. probably. I mean, the volume's just kicked in now. It's 1:30. So I'm gonna see if we can catch something in this stream. I've already traded earlier, I think. Yeah, and I got a nice sell for 80 pips in a buy in the morning London session for, let's have a look, 71. That was 12:25, so 10 a.m. So not bad. But yeah, so the daily's range, I mean, you could look at it in a wider scope, but I'm gonna look at where price is currently and say that the daily range is sat probably around this level here. 2 seconds, guys. Sorry, chat. I had to take a call there. Yeah, so this is the daily range that we're in right now. I would say that we're in like up here, down here. Maybe I'd actually extend that level. Maybe that's the daily range. So you potentially just broke into the daily range looking for a top wick to fill the range entirely, but we don't yet know. Okay. So looking at the 4 hour changes the story a little bit. So one thing with the new sample size strategy is I need to also account for the fact that supports can be resistances, right? I still trade support or resistance. It's just the way I've always read the markets, but that allocates the probability of success of your range play trading out. If you can take a loss, you can also acknowledge the fact that that could have been acted as a resistance, and that's why you set your stop loss kind of low. Or if you were risking a lot less, then you could increase stop loss, have another range below, and mitigate or martingale, I guess you can say, your trades, so you can get a higher win rate. But then again, you are risking a little bit more than you should need to. But that comes into play based on the decision before execution. So if you've entered standard lots based on your account size, then you can't really do that. And I don't typically do the kind of hedging against my idea, because my idea is my idea, and I'd rather be in and out, know the decision, maybe wait for a retest, maybe wait for it to come back into the range before I can take a trade back up. So yeah, so it looks like we've came in on this 4. You've created this bottom wick and this level. I mean, we're looking at dates back to the start of the year, May, and now no, and now we're back here in August. So this could be a support, and this could definitely be a resistance. Maybe take that wick into consideration. Or you could extend it for a bit more confidence, but with that comes a bit more resistance, so there's a bit more probability. It's kind of acts the same way. And then I'd say break-even buys is probably going to be like up here. Support down here. Break-even buys, which is essentially risk management areas for your trade. Whoops. So that's the 4 hour that we're looking at. I don't know if I mean, this definitely might or will play out, but you have tapped this break-even buys level and you've came back down, so you might need to see another retest. You can't just enter before you take that trade back up on the 4. Now the hourly, I'm gonna see how I'm slowly, like, I'm painting my ideas, but I'd also like to focus on current price action rather than price action at the start of the year. But it's always there. It's always helpful to just have this level, you know, to help you. A little bit messier. Again, that ties into the probability factor of your trade playing out if you were to take this position. But like I said, when the 4 hour cracked up, came down, that could have been an area for entry, this white line. Talking about this bit here. And your stop loss could have been anything that respects it. So you go back to the 4 hour and just like kind of just have a browse, you know, have a look and see where's like the area that's where price hasn't really respected the range. Like you could use anything. You could use this bottom wick, all right? You could use this one down here. So there's so many options. I would probably use that one, and that would have played out in my favor to go back up for almost a 1-to-1, more like a 0.5 to 1. Oh, sorry, a 2 to 1. But yes, so we're gonna go down to the hourly here. I'm gonna mark up my charts, and this is kind of the area I want to trade, because the range here and here, right, this range that we're currently in, I'll even use that bump wick there. This range here is about 1,000 pips. All right, so the 1,000 pip range, you don't need to catch a big move, try and catch a small piece of the pie. So I'm going to look at this area, and this has got some good price action for me as well. All right, so down to the 30 minutes, I can already see a nice level of support here, okay? Very nice. We're moving bullish. As you can see, the higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, equal lows, higher highs, equal lows, but you're still wanting to push further up. So keep that in mind as well when we're planning out our trades. But we're in this level of support. I'm going to mark that as a nice clean level of support. Not too worried about the resistance here because you failed. You came down here prior and you failed to kind of break. I would actually argue that your resistance is better off being like here, maybe, or like up here. But there's many times where that's failed, so I wouldn't be too eager on the price action that's going on in this section unless you want to come down to like this level or like, I don't know. But that's the range below. We're not focused on the range below, we're focused on the current range. And that current range is between this resistance level and this support level. You've came down, okay? So you first of all, you came up, tapped your resistance, came down, broke past this level of support, and looks like coming back down, coming back up to the area where you'd enter a sell to come down here. But we have to be careful that there is break-even selling points. All right, if I zoom out and look at the bigger picture, there's noise. There's subtle noise, but it's there, where you reject price back up, which is this level, okay? These levels over here, okay? This level over here. So that is my break-even sells at 4633.82. So this is now a non-tradable range until you see some sort of breakout, come back in, then you can take the trade back down. Or vice versa, if you push down, come back in, we can trade this range again. So that's my support, that's my resistance. There is another level above us, and we're not looking for resistances above us, we're looking for a range above us, so a support and resistance above price, and a range below us, resistance and a support below price, if we're trying to trade this session. That being said, resistance is probably going to be around this level. I might increase it, and the way I'm going to do that is by going onto the 5-minute time frame and just having a look. Yeah, so high probable support, or maybe like a 50-50 support, but you got within this box, you got nice key rejections. Again, resistance level varies, but I'm gonna say, I mean, it could be around here. Okay, so that would be a support level, that would be a resistance level. In the range, resistance will be up here, and yeah, I know there's this level to look out for, but this is the kind of overall range that we're looking at. I don't think, I mean, I could maybe account for that if I come down right up to the top, like there, maybe, but I just think that that is a stronger level up here. We can definitely add 2 though, so I might just account for it anyway. But there and there. So this is our range. We're not trading this midpoint. Range 2, range 1, and then range 3 will be down here somewhere for the session. And the way I'm going to figure that out is by mapping out this support level. Okay, it's quite clear. Very clear support level actually. And then resistance. So where is our resistance? I might use this area, and if it fails, then it fails. It is what it is. But I think that's a nicer area. You could technically use this area as well. Issue with that is you broke down a few times and failed, so I'm not too interested. I'd rather wait for this position to play out, sorry, not to thingy, it's terrible. And then I'd probably have my stops either there, let's have a look. This is the resistance we're trying to play out. I'd probably have my stops there, but it's high probability set up for a loss. It's not really a range I want to trade, to be honest, but using different time frames here. Yeah, I mean, maybe I can avoid all this noise up here and use this as the stops. Just trying to have a think. Or maybe, yeah, I'll probably use that as a stop for there. This stop will be probably this bottom wick here. Resistance stops for here will probably be up here. Support stops for here will likely be down here at this wick. And this is kind of the part where you're just trying to probabilize your areas, right? So I'm just looking at where I need to be in order to account for stops. So like I wouldn't use this bottom wick because it's low probability. I'd rather use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rejections, 7 maybe as a low, and then this one up here. But we're not focused on these ranges right now. We're focused on the current range, right? And that current range is where we are right now. So we got range 1. No, sorry, range 1, range 2, range 3. Range 3 is the cleanest range. Range 1 has some rejections, mostly break-even sells, I would say. But there is that level of break-even buys that I'm not, like, maybe, there's this level for sure. Is it? I don't know. I might just keep it clean because the 15 doesn't show. I mean, nah, I'll probably mark that as a break-even buys, so that's fine. On the 5-minute, you can see there's some resistance levels that line up, brings price back down. Okay. And in terms of this level, I think it's okay. Like up here. Or would I be better off marking this as my support? Sorry, as my resistance, and use this range instead, perhaps, and then have that as the high. Break-even buys, I mean, don't care too much about it. Nah, I should. I'll keep it there. And then I'll have my support level. Probably have it below here. I don't think these levels are really, I mean, it's low probability as well that we hit TP based on this area. But I'd rather wait. I'd rather take a small loss and then just wait for price to come back up. Like if it's coming down here, then you're probably going to come down a little bit further before you see any rejections, but then you're playing with this range. I'd rather wait. I'd rather enter this, and if it was to lose, then just wait for it to do its thing, come back up, take that trade up again. That's 0.63, this is 0.47, it's a little bit better. Let me go in the higher time frame and just have a look. Maybe down here is better actually. 5-minute. Or here. We could try that, it's fine. We're risking the same anyway, so. Okay. Very confusing, but we got range 1, 2, and 3. 3 is definitely the cleanest range, but we just need to see price come down and develop a little bit better for this range. But yeah, I think the 15, and then yeah, okay. This isn't really included in the support level. I mean, it can be. It definitely can be, but the issue with it is that current PA is kind of saying otherwise. It's kind of telling us that we're going to come down to here. So what I could do instead is turn that into a BES down here and not worry too much about it. And that's kind of your range one. Range one's definitely strong. It's got strong price action. Range two is decent. It's decent. And range three is probably your cleanest. So that's our session ranges. If we end up coming, because we're kind of moving bullish right now, you can just see from the trend. So if we end up coming up, then we've got range two. I'm gonna have to wait for a stronger reset for range one, just because you've got these areas here. All right, so if I let me see, I'll bring that down a little bit. Line up with that level, line up with this level as well. So you just have to, I mean, the 1 minute is showing that we're breaking back into the range and you're driving back down, so that's interesting. Got some volume kicking in. It's a pretty strong level though, so I'm gonna mark it up as a pretty strong level. So is this, to be honest. Pretty strong as well. If you were to trade that range though, you'd have to have your stop loss like down here. Which would mean you'd be trading. Oh, yeah, another thing. I've added this tool. I'm not in a trade. I've added this tool. I've configured this tool so it can, the quantity is my lot size. So if your guys are trading a 10,000, well, I'm trading a 10,000 pound account. So if I'm trading a 10,000 pound account, leave lot size. My risk is 0.5%, but because it's in tens of thousands, or is it, as 1,000 is the quantity, you change it to a 100th. Oh, sorry, in a 1,000th. So I do 0.005. That's the same as 0.05%. So it's in 100th of it. My leverage, I put it at 10k. I don't know if that matters. I don't think it does. If I put it at 30, what happens? Nah, nothing. So I'll just leave it at 10k. So leverage doesn't matter, lot size doesn't matter. Risk, if you want to risk 0.5% of your account, you put 0.005. If you want to risk 1%, 0.01, okay? And that basically means I'm risking £100 for every 100 pips. And because it's GBP, it's giving me 0.14. But I want to risk £50 a trade, so 0.07 from where we're at. That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. Right, chat. I think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna enter this. I'm gonna enter a trade here, guys. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, screw it. All right, we're in. We got in around here. So this is the idea. This is the idea. So we're looking for a rejection because you close quite above this break-even buys area. So as you push down further, I'm looking for a top wick at that red line. So I'm in here, chat. Okay, so got in. The idea is here. So what I could do actually is delete all of this shit just to make it clearer for you guys. So it's 2 minor zones within the area of focus. I'm gonna just leave that there. delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this. And I'm going to have my stops probably here. All right, chat. So we're in this trade. So between the green and the red lines, we're basically looking to come up and tap this level. I'll double check my entry, but the stop loss is 4623.76. Take profit at 4637.59. Entry was 4631.42. So that's my trade. Okay. So we're basically looking to, as price closed outside of the range, we're looking to grab that top wick before we can come and push back down. There's no real minor zones here. I think the 15 doesn't really show too much. There's a slight one, so there's risk of that, of course, but the overall area, I think we are pretty good. There's this level as well. Could be a break-even buys, but I'm not totally convinced. Maybe here, but the way you're pushing, I think we're just good to hold it. Could have maybe marked up this level because there's that wick there, but it's not super strong. I mean, maybe I might just... I don't think the... No, I don't think it's strong enough. That could be. Who knows? I think we're good. Alright, chat. So, we're in this position. Slight chance that it could hit stop loss, but that's totally okay because I'm aware of this area here for risk management. Okay, but it's not strong. You could have taken half and set stop loss to break even, but then again, these areas just respected this as well, so it's not the end of the world if you do take a loss. I think on the higher time frame though, this is a bit more optimal, and then these three can come down. All right, so we're in slight drawdown, but it's okay. We're looking for this top wick to tap. All right. So we're in this. It's a good strong level. I know there's a lot of noise, but we're trading the noise essentially. We're currently risking 56 and 17 for 45 and 24, so it's a slight negative RR, but it's not the worst. If you lose the trade, it's also okay because the idea is that it rejects within this area, so that's fine. On a higher time frame, these areas here, but on the small time frame, that top rectangle. That's kind of the level we're looking at. How close did we get to that TP level? 15 pips, and then it just rejects. Nice, 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 nice. No, we should be able to see some sort of top week at this level before driving down. Just to see some structure being printed, you know? Because we are still in a, I was going to say, still in a bullish trend for the day. But that might be adjusted now. Not that I trade trend lines. Lamau. Also would have liked to, I mean, that could have been a break-even buys, but it's not super strong. I'm kind of looking for more structure than securing half. It's not really structure. Kind of is, but we're committed now. So I guess maybe in hindsight, this would have been okay to take, just because of you had this big risk rejection, but we're kind of chancing the probability that I'll go up and print us the top wick first. But if we take that loss, we know why, right? I'll keep it on the 1 minute so you guys can see. That is our entry, but we should have got it a bit lower, but it's fine. Because you could have entered on this green line as well, right here. So it's just, it depends. Doesn't really matter. It's fine. You guys, wouldn't it be crazy if we saw this? Wouldn't that be crazy if we saw 58 pips? Oh wait, I forgot one more thing. Trend line. Oh, it has to be red, right? Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy if we saw this? Like right now? Wait, how do I... Alright! Wouldn't that just be crazy? I'm predicting the future. That's what's happening. Predicting the future. And look at the slip. I even added a little bit of slip. You see that? A little 2-pip slip. We're LARPing the future, guys. That's what's gonna happen. Look at the structure. Look at the structure. Check it. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is just crazy, right? Damn. Damn, that's crazy, guys. We just caught 135 pips just like that. That's crazy. Yeah, man. That's crazy. First stream back. Wow. That's all good. It's all good. Nah, these things happen. So, it's like a loss of, let's have a look. 78. It's not bad. So, gold buys minus 78 pips. Oh, don't stop streaming. Take another loss there. 78. 842. Here you go. One loss for the session. Happens. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. I guess in hindsight, like I said, could have used this level as a break-even buys. Now I'm looking at it a bit more clearly as he popped back up. But that's life. That is life. See if we can retain back to our old drawings. I kind of doubt it. Oh no, there we go. Alright, where were we? Oh, that was the original stop loss? Nah, that's all good. I'm gonna mark this as a break-even buys though for sure. That looked like a decent area. I would like to see it come into range 3 though. It's a lot cleaner. Like if we can see one of these. A lot cleaner. Wow, first trade back, 78 pips, loss. Love that. We love that over here. Now, it's a good setup regardless. I thought that range was decent, but again, probability took its action, grabbed this break-even buys level, which I maybe should have marked up, but I didn't, and that's what happens. But I would like to see this come into play. If we could see some of this action, it'd be quite nice. Especially as you're making your move down, and some volume came in as well. We are at 174 pips. If it comes back into this level, I would also be tempted to take the buys back up, because then you might be seeing a change of structure here. Yo. But then you're only looking at catching 32 pips or so. If it comes back in between these ranges as well, I'd be tempted. I wouldn't take the sell, so I wouldn't take the buy off here because you do still have this action, which doesn't really do anything for us. You know what I'm saying? So, gonna have to wait. Because like that probability is quite low, isn't it? 12. So. So yeah, my range focus would be between here and the red line. You know what I'm saying? Looks like you're pushing down here, chat. I'll keep it a bean. Oh. Alright, chat, I'm gonna have a buy limit here. Oh, I don't know my TP levels yet. Hold on. 0.10. 0.10 buy limits. So price at 4609.36. Stop loss will be at 4602.67. And if it pops back up, we'll have a sell limit. Right here. establish the stop loss area is probably be the break of that high there. So 0.08 for the sell limit. Sell limit will be at 4619.26. It's not popping up. 4619.26. Alright, so that's the sell limit, buy limit. Stop loss for the sells will be at 4627.85. 4627.85. So that's the sell limit, stop loss. That's the buy limit, stop loss. That's the buy limit. That's the sell limit. Whichever triggers first wins. Again, though, sell limit, take profit, 4609.36. And buy limit, take profit, 4619.26. Whichever hits first will cancel the other order. Okay. So I've got this. Oops. Looks like it's going to be the... Okay, so the buys might got triggered. Yeah, the buys got triggered, so delete the sell limit. So we're in on buys here, chat. Stop loss is going to be right down here. Take profit will be right up here. And that's it. Nothing, no risk management, nothing. And to head down really quickly. But hopefully we smack for 98 pips. And that'll take our loss for the session, which will be ideal. Alright, chat. BRB. Sorry guys, had to step away, but bang! Bang! We got that trade. We got that trade. Now, that was 99 pips. So, for the session, 99 pips. We are up 21 pips. Oops. Gold buys plus 99. Bang! 99. Right, I'm gonna have to head out though. A bit of a short stream. It was only, what, like an hour or so? 1 hour and 20. But that's all. I'm not looking at the markets anymore. I need to go and do some stuff, sort some stuff out. So I will be back maybe in Asian, but I think I'll try go for tomorrow. I just have to see how things settle down. But yeah, that is the day. So we're up 21 pips. We take those. It's not much, but you know, the idea was there. It was printed, and we'll take that, and we're happy with it. All right, chat. Very short stream, but you know, it was good. It was fun. You are pushing down now, so just be wary of other zones. Looking at zone 3 here, so if I was to keep trading, I would still say that you'd be looking at these levels. I wouldn't worry about too much about range 2 here, because it's kind of far away right now. But range 3, as you're pushing down, you have a range below it as well, which is like here. And you have this range as well. So okay,